Hi there. It's December 23rd and time for Proverbs 23. Now, we started our 30 wise sayings yesterday. We sat down here in 17 through 21. Incline your ear and listen to the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge, for it is delightful if you keep them within you, ready on your lips. You need to memorize them. So that your trust may be in Adonai. I made them known to you, even this day, even you. Have I not written you 30 sayings of admonition and knowledge to show the true, reliable words that you may give the true answer to the ones who sent you? 30 wise sayings. And we did 5 yesterday. Don't rob a poor person because he is poor. Don't be friends with an angry person. Don't co-sign for loans. Don't move ancient boundary markers. Be very skilled in your work. Okay? That was 5. So today we're going to continue with the 30 wise sayings. This is 23 and part of 24 tomorrow. So I think that's probably 15 in here. And we'll separate them. So the first one covers 3 verses. Okay? When you sit down to dine with a ruler, consider carefully what is set before you, and put a knife to your throat if you possess a large appetite. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Okay? Now, if a ruler or an employer or a prospective employer invites you out to a meal, orders very little, and be very careful what you do, because he is not inviting you out to feed you. He is inviting you out to test you, to see what kind of person you are, to see if you do simple things. If you salt your food before even tasting it, he's going to know that you are not a person open to new ideas. Okay? If you treat the waiters, the waitresses, the servers with contempt or look down on them, he's going to notice that. Okay? That's what he's looking for. Food is deceptive. Okay? That's an important lesson. Okay. 4 and 5. This is number 7. Now, this is important too. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Be wise enough to restrain yourself. When you cast your eyes on riches, it is gone, for it surely sprouts wings and flies off into the sky like an eagle. Okay? Anybody who gets a lot of money usually loses it. All right? And you'll live your whole life, and at the end of your life say, I spent my whole life chasing money, and now I have none. Or I have money, but I have no friends and no family. Just don't do that. Okay? 6, 7, and 8. This is a good one too. Do not eat the food of a stingy person or desire his delicacy, for as he thinks within himself, so is he. For as though he thought it in his heart, so he will say unto thee. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you ate and waste your pleasant words. Okay? Now you know how to tell a stingy person who really doesn't care about you, trying to be nice. They will tell you what everything costs, right? And they will say it in a way that's not meant at you, but complaining about a higher power, right? Can you believe these steaks were $23 a pound? Oh my goodness. And do you believe the price of soft drinks now? You know, $15 for this 12-pack. Eat, drink, be happy. But inside they're calculating, okay? That's what, or as he thinks within himself, so is he. Right? He's always calculating inside, man, this is going to cost me a fortune. Not caring about you at all, wishing you weren't there eating his expensive food. Right? Just don't hang around people like that. They're easy to spot. Right? Next one, 9. Do not speak in the ears of a fool, for he will disdain the wisdom of your words. Yeah? Pretty simple. Okay? Don't speak. Okay? You can usually tell people there's no use talking to them because they're just going to call you names. Okay? And this one, again, he's already said this once. Do not move the ancient boundary stone or encroach on fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is strong. He will plead their case against you. Okay? I believe he said that yesterday, reiterating it. Okay, it was down here at the bottom. Don't move ancient boundary stones that your father set up. So he said that twice. Does that count as 30? We'll find out, huh? 12. Apply your heart to disciplining your ears to words of knowledge. Now, I don't know if that's one by itself or if it goes with this. Hmm? Apply your heart to disciplining your ears to words of knowledge. Right. Do not withhold correction from a child. If you strike him with the rod, he will not die. Punish him with the rod and deliver his soul from Sheol. Okay? We talk about this whenever it comes up. Discipline your children while they are young, and you will be saving them from death. Right? 15 and 16 is another one. My son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will also be glad. Yes, my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Right? Make your parents proud. Right? If your son, if your son is wise, your lips speak what is right. Right? A parent's inmost being rejoices, and your hearts are glad. Okay. 17 and 18. They put these together differently on this one. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be in the fear of Adonai. For surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Now, does this go with it? Listen, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the right way. It could be. I mean, they put it together. Right? Don't envy sinners, but always be in the fear of Adonai. Right? That's where the future is. Okay? That's where your hope is. Alright? Makes sense? These sinners are not going to end up in a good place. Okay, 20. I think 20 and 21 go together. Do not join those drinking too much wine or gorging on meat, for both drunkards and gluttons will be impoverished. Grogginess will clothe them in rags. Yes. And the sleeper shall be clothed with rags. Right. Don't hang around with drunks or gluttons. You don't want to end up like that. Okay, 22. Gotta try and separate these, right? We'll just read it. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. That could be one by itself. Acquire truth and do not sell it. Acquire wisdom, instruction, and understanding. Father of the righteous one rejoices greatly. Whoever fathers a wild child delights it. Are these together as one or separate? It sounds separately, right? Acquire truth and do not sell it. Don't sell it. People do that, Motivational speaker. For only $29, I'll tell you how to be happy for life. You shouldn't sell that kind of stuff. Yeah, that should be freely given to anyone who asks for it. The father of a righteous one rejoices greatly. Whoever fathers a wise child delights in him. Let your father and mother be glad. Let she who bore you rejoice. My son, give your heart to me and leave, and let your eyes observe my ways. For a prostitute is a deep pit, an adulterous woman is a narrow pit. Indeed, she lies in wait like a robber, and increases the unfaithful among men. Yeah. Okay, so this could be one, right? Could be more. We'll leave that for now. Now, this entire last part of 23, 29 through 35 is about alcoholism. Okay? As long as there's been alcohol, there has been alcoholism. Okay? People that overdo it. We'll read through this. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has fights? Who has complaining? Who has bruises for no reason? Who has red eyes? All of these symptoms, right? Woe, sorrow, get into fights, complaining. There's drug people, right? Bruises for no reason. They wake up and say, how did I get that mark? Right? Red eyes. Those who linger long over wine. Go looking for mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it glides down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things. Your heart will utter perverse things. Like they're talking about up there. Then you will be like one lying down in the heart of the sea, or sprawled on top of a mast. They hit me, but I was not hurt. They beat me up, but I did not feel it. When will I wake up? I will look for another drink, right? You wake up feeling like you got hit by a truck. I can't find any bruises, but I feel like I got beat to death. Right, it's about alcoholism. Okay. So there, that's 23. Well, we can count these just for two. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this could be one, right, by itself. And we don't know how to, that's 12, so that's 13 if you talk about alcoholism. And we don't know how to separate these, or if they do need separated, okay? Remember, when these are written, they weren't cut up into verses. It was one long oration. Father of the righteous one rejoices greatly with his father's child. Delights in him. Let your father and mother be glad. See before you rejoice. You know, that sounds like one. And warnings. So we'll call that 14. So we're up to about 20, right? 15, 5, yeah. Up to about 20. We separated them. 30 wise sayings. We should know these, and we talked about them. Right? This is number 6. When you sit down to dine with a ruler, consider carefully what is set before you and put a knife to your throat if you possess a large appetite. Right? Don't crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Right? He is testing you. Okay? He is testing you. An important one, don't wear yourself out to get rich. Be wise enough to restrain yourself. Right? Know when enough is enough. Okay? You want just enough. Or money goes away. Right? The next one, do not eat the food of a stingy person or desire his delicacies, for he thinks within himself, so is he. As he thinks within himself, so is he. Stingy, okay? He's calculating. Inwardly, some versions say he is inwardly calculating the cost of everything, while saying to you, eat, drink, and be merry, right? He's going to be stingy, and he's going to say, man, that steak was $23. Can you believe that steak was $23? And it'll go on, and you could tell they're inwardly calculating what it's costing them. Don't hang around people like that. It'll just make you sick. Right? And the next one, do not speak in the ears of a fool, for he will disdain the wisdom of your words. Right? You ever see these protesters? You ever see somebody try to talk to one of these protesters? They just call them names. Okay, oh, you're just a racist, misogynist, pig, phobic, whatever. When in truth they have no facts to argue with, so they're going to call you names. Okay, they will disdain the wisdom of your words. Don't waste your time. And this one, he said it twice. It must have been a real problem. Encroachment, right? Don't move an ancient boundary stone or encroach on the fields of the fatherless. And these could be one or the kids separate, but apply your heart to discipline and your ears to words of knowledge. Right? Do not withhold correction from a child. If you strike him with a rod, he will not die. You got that? If you spank your kids, they will not die. In fact, if you spank them, it says, you will deliver their souls from hell. Got that? Important stuff. Make your parents proud. My son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will also be glad. Yes, my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Right. I have kids like this. I love. It does make my inmost being rejoice, right? And here's the one. Do not let your heart envy sinners. Right? All these people, all the billionaires, don't envy those people, right? But always be in the fear of Adonai. Follow the Lord always. For surely there is a future, and your hope will never be cut off. Right? And I don't think this is actually part of it, but I think this 19 is part of 20 and 21. So we'll put those together instead. Listen, my son, and be wise and guide your heart in the right way. Do not join those drinking too much wine or gorging on meat, for both drunkards and gluttons will be impoverished. Grogginess, sleepiness will clothe them in rags. Right? People that are gorging themselves and drinking and eating too much usually don't work. So. Where do they get that food and alcohol? I don't know. I've always worked, so. And the next one, listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Always honor your parents. Acquire truth and do not sell it. Acquire wisdom, instruction, and understanding. Don't sell your wisdom. Give it freely to people who ask. Right? If you want to know something, you can find a truly wise person who has been there and done those things, and he will gladly tell you of the advantages and the pitfalls that you're going to encounter along the way to whatever project you're trying to accomplish. Okay? Acquire wisdom. It means ask these people, do not sell it. There are people that do. Nobody likes them. They become a stereotype. The motivational speaker, right? And this whole thing, it may be one. Okay? Father, a righteous one rejoices greatly. Whoever fathers a wise child delights in it. Okay, that's true. But your father and mother be glad that those who bore you rejoice. My son, give your heart to me, and lest you observe, and let your eyes observe my ways. Don't go around prostitutes. Right? Just that easy. And then the one about alcoholism. So there you have it. That's Proverbs 23. And tomorrow, I think we will finish up the 30 saying. Okay, see, there's more. And then there's another. Then it has more. But wait, there's more, right? So there you have it. We're getting into our 30 wise thing. It's like, and most of these are common sense, okay? It's not hard to memorize them when it's just common sense and decency and kindness. But you can remember them. Keep them ready on your lips, right? So stay tuned later today. We are on day 358 of our Through the Bible in 1 Year. 358. And I think we are doing 2 Timothy. Okay? I'm going to fly through some epistles And then in a couple of days, we'll be starting Revelations, and that'll take it through time because it's like 24 chapters. And that'll be a lot of reading. And we're not going to study it deeply. Okay, I did last year. You can look it up. I did a very in-depth study on Revelation. We took up almost a month to go through it. So, and that's a very good study. But this will just be reading through it so that we can read through the entire Bible in 1 year, cover to cover. And we will do it. So, until next time, we'll see you later. But tomorrow, stay tuned. We'll go back and do it again. Yeah.